You probably clicked on this video because you were looking to design a VTuber or even a PNG tuber, because I guess I'm a PNG tuber. So this is my guide on how to design a model, I guess. Or I guess not entirely like a model, just a design. But over here, this is my own little like reference sheet. This is my little mood board I put together, which I actually didn't even have together before I made the design. My little design sketch there came before, and many other design sketches came way before that one. So yes, it's a bit of a process. It is. And I did kind of only include the mood board just to kind of inspire you. Take that step if you want to, because that's never usually something I do, but I did actually find that after I made it, I was like, wow, it does represent my character quite nicely. And I feel like a lot of people, when, you know, going to artists, say you are someone who doesn't consider yourself the best kind of artist, so you're trying to commission someone to design something for you. Putting together a mood board is the perfect thing to do. Yes, you could write out exactly how you want it, but having some sort of visual is perfect, okay? Like that is, it gets it across so easily. But anyways, my design, my tips for design, my personal take is designing something based off of things that you like. I feel like the best way to have a design that you connect with is to have it based off of things you like. I feel like that's, sorry, that might sound silly, but I feel that's the best way to do it. But for my personal design here, I picked quite a variety of things that I like and find enjoyable. Like my favorite color is pink, so of course I picked a character to have pink hair. I picked my favorite color combo, which is orange, white, and blue. I was like, I'm gonna throw this into a character somehow. Here I am. Are you looking at it? I have seen though, okay, there's different approaches here, because for me personally, I kind of took the character route, which is going a bit farther beyond and designing something that doesn't look like you at all, in the slightest, which obviously no matter what you do, it's not going to look exactly like you. But there are people who have their PNG tubers, VTubers be like exact replicas of them, which is perfectly fine. Like if you are looking to design yourself, go for it. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. For designing a character, there is a bit more to it though. Character design in itself can be a bit of a doozy, and then trying to design a character that you can actually stick with and like for the rest of your career, it's a bit hard. And a lot of people do go through rebranding like halfway through, even sooner, if they don't feel they connect with the character that much, which again, there's nothing wrong with that. If you later on feel that you don't connect with whatever design you put together now, that is so totally okay. Back to my actual tips though for designing a character, it's all about how you want to be perceived. For me personally, I kind of liked this more kind of flowy, almost mysterious kind of feel. My character, he looks a bit more like professional, honestly, which is a little crazy to say considering the content I make and the stuff I do, and even just his personality when I think about it. He's not professional in the slightest, but he does come off as more of a formal type character. He looks like he's got his stuff together. He kind of has a more fancy attire going on, and this is all for the environment that I have my character in as well, that I feel fits him greatly. And so it's all about kind of the aesthetic that you want to go for. There are people who want bubbly and cute, and they go with animals such as just like otters or dogs or cats. The basic ones I throw out there that you see a lot, but there's obviously so many animals out there that you can choose from. Or you could even go kind of like techie, that I see quite a lot too, which honestly my personal fave to see among other people. Just like tech wear, honestly mechanical, anything along those lines. You could have something that's more chill, you can have something that's high energy. I've seen a lot of like clowns recently, and the energy that clown VTubers bring to the table is absolutely amazing. But it's all about that vibe that you want to bring. I feel like that's a little contradicting for myself, as I describe my character as being formal, but I myself like to describe myself as being high energy and and screaming and all that jazz. But also, don't let the design design limit who you are either. The design is just something to have there to hold the viewers like attention while you are off doing what you do. But it's also for branding and just building yourself and your community, because people like having this sense of something to connect to. And I feel like with character design, it is easy to have something to have other people connect to that way. As for my character, I have these little flying fish on the vest. You can see it on my model here, and I will draw it later during this little speed paint. But the flying fish is also something I like to call my community. It's easy to kind of connect the two, as my character is related in some way to flying fish, and then having your viewers be related to that as well, as if they are a part of this little world that you've created, which is just, it's so neat. Okay, it is so, I'll nerd about it. I'll get nerdy with it. It's designing characters can be so fun. It is all about what you want. There's nothing stopping you. There's nothing restricting you. It is all about having fun, being creative, and just going with the flow. There's obviously more simple designs though, something that's completely up to the person themselves, because I know my design is a little overwhelming to a lot of people. There's a lot of aspects to my design, and even I get a little like out of breath trying to draw it constantly over and over again, and I cannot like confidently go up to like a commissioner and be like, draw my character, because I feel bad. Okay, I feel bad when I pull up with this guy and I'm like, well, here we go, here's what I have, and they're like, oh, okay. Maybe not. But there are extremely complex designs, and then the simplest designs. Me, I like maximalism, so I like to go above and beyond with the design. I like to add little things that I can reference, such as my pearl necklaces, which I actually own because I love pearl necklaces. I think they are amazing, and I just actually find it so fun to have it on my character. And even with this model where he's playing with it, I love it. I love it so much. For my own design, I went off a lot of other people's designs, which is easily something that is very common. And you might see a lot of designs that look very similar but also have extreme differences. As long as you aren't like directly copying someone like so obviously, taking inspiration, there's nothing wrong with that. I've easily taken inspiration from many different designs, as I've kind of just went through and was like, I really like this thing, I really like this is something I'd like to have. Mainly for my design, it was the harnesses, as I saw a lot of designs with different types of like harnesses in many different shapes and in many different places, and I just thought, man, I've never in my life have I worn a harness, but it's just, it seems really cool to have on a design, and it is. I gotta say, I really like it. I really like the design I put together for my harness. It's got a lot of different things, and there are a lot of different confusing things, and even I know that it's kind of hard to tell what I did for my design. I literally will give people my character reference, and they will try so hard to make out what it is that I drew. Even on this model, there is a slight mix-up on the harness with the little like white strips kind of going down the rings. As you see in my drawing here, they're more like stones. It's hard to tell though, and that's why I do need myself a decent reference and hopefully better communication skills in the future. But taking inspiration is easily a very okay thing to do. A lot of things can push you around and make you have ideas, and I feel like definitely writing everything out and having this list of all these different things that you could possibly want your design to be is very helpful. I went, again, as mentioned towards the beginning, I went through quite a few different designs because I was for a while just very into VTubers but not actually making the content. So I just designed a lot of characters until I landed on this one. So I've had this design specifically for over a year and hadn't done anything with it. But before that, I think I went through about 3 different designs, and they were relatively similar in some aspects. I do think this design and the one right before it had the most similarities, as the color palettes were pretty much the same thing, but the clothes were completely different and there was no wings at all. I think what it was is really finding out what I wanted to do, and for me, I really wanted to create a story with my character, as a lot of VTubers do. That's not something that you have have to do, but it is definitely a very fun aspect to being a VTuber. That's why I was really adamant on having like a character that is quite different from the rest, so I could build this very interesting and intriguing story with it. Having a story doesn't exactly define your character, and also you can literally go whichever route you want regardless of story, but I found it personally to help me kind of push myself in a direction when I had this idea of a story that I wanted to create and a world that I wanted my character to fit in, because that is a big thing with finding out clothing style, is the world that they live in. Again, of mentioning the techwear designs, usually those people are in a high-tech city, so it all kind of correlates together, and usually there's more fantasy type characters that obviously live in a more fantasy environment. So I feel like designs definitely rely on the setting and where they are at, though you could of course be some crazy looking character and be in a little like flower garden or something. I mean, there's nothing stopping you from going that far beyond, but if you were specifically struggling on design work, then it is a lot easier to kind of pace yourself, think of a nice setting that you could put your character in, or even just find other references, designs that fit that category, and then kind of go from there. I personally feel design is all about uniqueness, and even if you have like a crazy idea that you feel is just a strange thing to add to a character, I feel personally that you should just do it anyways. I honestly say the weirder the better. I've seen so many designs, so many creations. I literally love just exploring different content creators all based off their designs and just having a field day with how people just represent themselves through these characters. I've seen people that are like spiders, okay, and they have like multiple legs crawling out their backs. I've seen faceless VTubers where their face is kind of like cracked open and there's like a beating heart inside the face. I have seen a little claymation man. It is so amazing the different types of things you can do. I can even say that you don't even have to worry about having a human-like character if that's something you don't want to have. I have seen, oh my god, just the other day I had seen a pony VTuber. It was it was crazy, but it was actually so just different and fun to see. There's just little creatures. I've seen just dogs. I've seen dragons before. I've seen the absolute creature of creatures. Designing a character is just all based upon what you are looking to achieve. If you have certain goals that you want to reach, maybe think about how you can base your character based off of those goals. If you specifically have like a crazy big interest, you can easily put your interest into your design as well. There's again just nothing limiting you from doing absolutely anything you want with the design, which is such a freeing thing with making a character. For myself, even as an artist, I'm looking to go as far as creating other characters based in this character's story and having their design still fluctuate even though I have this set design for this character. I just feel like it's very fun to explore different types of styles and energy and everything that can go into a character. Don't be afraid to create something. Go out and create something!